That's the only way to do it. Hey, give it some throttle with your wrist.
Dude, we made it happen. We finally painted the
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are here at the Goon Squad garage and we're gonna continue working on this Mercedes G63. As you guys seen in the previous video, we finally finished up all the body work on this tub and we got it all primed in, which that is just huge because that usually takes the longest time. So that's all knocked out of the way. We even fired this sucker up after throwing in our brand new dash right there. And this sucker just fired up with a bunch of just stuff missing and also no exhaust. The thing sounded pretty dang good, but today what we're gonna do is pretty much prepare the first piece of this car for some painting. We're gonna paint this in a pretty intricate way, or like a kind of a weird way, if you will.
A sequence, you know?
A sequence, yep, exactly. We're gonna start with the roof because you got a perfect tape line right here, and then we're gonna paint the body, and then we're gonna paint all the rest of the stuff, like the doors and all the little things that we have left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, because that roof is huge. You can't paint the tub and the roof all at the same time because how tall this car is, and it'll just make it a lot easier.
Exactly. This is literally the only way you can paint this thing. So right now on our hands, we got a bunch of wet sanding. So that's the first thing that we're gonna do is probably pull this sucker outside. We are missing a tie rod, but I think we'll figure something out. So let's just go ahead and fire this sucker up, pull it outside, and wet sand that roof right there, and maybe throw down some paint here soon. Go slow, go slow.
Alrighty guys, so now it is officially time to get inside the paint booth after we completely wet sanded this thing last night. But before we did that, we actually had to get this thing outside, that way we don't make a mess in here. And this thing would not drive without that brake caliper being basically fully assembled because it has sensors and whatnot, and it wants to feel the brakes that are on there. So it's crazy, but we got it on there. Thing finally drove for the very first time under its own power, so it's gonna be perfect because we're gonna drive this thing straight into the paint booth, barely, because we're still missing a tie rod in, so we're gonna have to kick that sucker straight in there. But I mean, we're excited. I mean, we're gonna do the first bit of paint work on this roof, and that's gonna knock out a big part of this project, and then we can move on to the rest. But as of right now, guys, we're gonna actually run to the paint shop, get our paint, come back, get this thing inside the paint booth, and get this thing ready for our first coat.
Alrighty guys, so we just threw down our first bit of Arabian gray paint on this G63, and I gotta say it turned out absolutely amazing. Of course, we ran to the paint store, grabbed a bunch of our supplies along with the paint. Then once we made it back, we totally forgot that we just got done building this wall right here, which meant we had to throw an exhaust out the side right there. So we quickly knocked that out. The paint booth is flowing properly. Everything is just going super good. And we just went straight to town and we slicked it in, dude. That sucker looks absolutely amazing, dude. I love that color right there, dude.
That looks super good, dude. Once you actually see the brand new paint, it's gonna look so good once everything is painted. Dude,
I bet it's gonna look even better out in the sun. Remember when we first got this car, we had it outside, we cleaned it up. Dude, that color just pops, man.
Oh, 100%. But this roof, man, this thing just got slick in,
sir.
Man. Look at that shine, man.
Yep, the color went down really nice. It didn't have any like blotchiness. You just threw it down, and within like, I think you did 3 coats of paint, 2 coats of clear, dude, and that is just better than OEM right there, dude. Can't wait to paint the rest of this car. So basically that's what's next. I think we're gonna let this dry and cure overnight, and then tomorrow we're gonna pull this sucker outside. We're gonna take apart like the tail lights, the rear bumper, everything that's in the way. We're gonna wet sand this whole entire tub right here and basically get it ready for paint and wrap this paint job up. What? Dude, we forgot to put on the AC lines. Alrighty guys, so we came in this morning and we got straight to work. We pulled this sucker outside and that roof looks way better outdoors, just like we knew it would. So that sucker is basically dry. We're ready to keep on moving with this paint job, but you know what? We actually got some Mercedes parts, so we decided to move on to that. We got our tie rod in. Finally, we don't have to kick this sucker around just to steer it. And also we got our coolant lines in, so we tossed all that on. Our cooling system is 100% complete. The sucker can idle, can get hot, and we could actually go for our very first test drive because we also fixed this rear end over here. So there was a big old chunk missing out of our tire. So we just went and got a used tire, threw it on there. We grabbed some Nickelodeon slime or something like that, and then some starting fluid because that wheel is a little bent. So we had to use that combination just to get it to blow up, and it worked, dude.
It worked, dude. And you can't forget, we about flooded the interior with coolant, man, because we forgot 2 hose lines that go inside the dash, but luckily none of it went in there.
Yeah, luckily it just spilled out the bottom and none of it went into the interior, so I'm super happy about that. But you know what, guys? We're actually officially ready to go for our very first test drive. And right now it's missing an exhaust. Do you want to go as is, or do you want to throw
Dude,
on our new exhaust?
I'll say we throw on that box right there, dude. I know it's gonna sound good and it's gonna look good, dude.
Exactly. We got a sweet Army Tricks exhaust for this sucker, so let's go ahead, slap that on, and then we'll go ripping.
Let out.
Move it around. Oh yeah, it'll come up. That's the only way to do it, dude. Are you kidding me?
That's wild, unless you take the whole tub off the frame, honestly, dude.
But hey, we do not want this anymore because we got this sweet Army Tricks right here, and it's gonna get rid of one of the resignators in the back, right?
Yeah, one of the little like mufflers that just quieten it down just a little bit. These still have cats in them right here. They're just they're high flow cats, so it's gonna be a lot nicer sounding. I think, I mean, you could do just the tips, but this is gonna be way better, dude.
Yeah, we were debating because, of course, just doing this part of the exhaust right here would have been so easy, but then again, we seen this and we're like, dude, we gotta have it pretty much almost straight pipe.
Gotta have the whole thing. The Supreme exhaust from Army Tricks is the most legit one, and it's gonna utilize the OEM valve, so that's perfect. We don't have to run any extra wires. We can just put it in S plus mode and it'll just open them up.
It's gonna work like original, dude.
Yes,
I
sir.
love that right there. Look at that. Dang.
That's insane. And one thing that I do want to mention is we figured out that there's another tank underneath the engine cap. So we did not even know there's another coolant tank right there. I don't know what it's for, but it was low, which kind of scares me a little bit. Hopefully we didn't mess anything up, but we didn't have it running for too long. But we put coolant in there. They hid that one. I don't know if we have to vacuum pump it or anything. Not worried about it. Exhaust needs to go on as soon as possible.
Dude,
now.
let's keep on moving. Let's get this sucker fully Army Tricksed out and see what it sounds like.
Let's do it. Alrighty guys, so we finally got this Army Trick exhaust completely installed. We just went ahead and just put everything on along with the tips because that just looks absolutely sick. And I mean, this is gonna be our first time actually hearing this car start with the actual full exhaust on because we haven't heard it with it on. And I don't know if it's gonna be closed or open, or we're about to fire this thing up. And hopefully everything is all right, you know?
I honestly think everything's gonna be good, but I guess we just gotta just dive right into it, man.
Dude, let's just hop in there and start this sucker up and hear it scream.
Let's do it. That's probably closed. That's gotta be closed. Down the road. That's how we're gonna really open it up. like we need to change like spark plugs because it was rolled over or something, so oil could have got into them. But it just doesn't sound right. I mean, it sounds pretty decent, but it just doesn't run right. So we got to figure that out because I want to take this thing ripping, and then we can get to fixing this thing up. Whoa, what the heck? It actually looks kind of fire. Alright guys, so we just ran into a little pickle. Can't figure it out. But, you know what? We're gonna move on to something else. Honestly, it could be the fact that we don't have it completely put together. So we're gonna go ahead and remove a few things on the back end over here, like the tail lights, the bumper, wet sand this body, get that painted, just focus on the rest of the build. Alrighty guys, so it is actually the next day here, and we worked super late into the night trying to get this sucker fully paint prepped. I mean, we went all the way till like midnight pretty much, but we got a lot of stuff wet sanded. This side completely wet sanded, that side completely wet sanded. We had to add some seam sealer in a few sections, and we actually still got to add some more seam sealer up in this engine bay area over here, and we actually just got one more tube of seam sealer left. And all of the automotive stores that sell that stuff actually are closed today. So hopefully we can maybe find some more tubes around the shop and we can get that done. Also in the back over here, there's something pretty crazy going on. It was pretty much something that we should have took care of during framework. And now we're having to take care of it right now with like a sliding hammer. We're trying to like basically pull that whole flap downwards a little bit, and it's almost there, but that was a little bit uncalled for right there. It took a little bit of extra time. We got David out here as well. He's helping us wet sand, and it's just making the process go so much faster. So this side's completely wet sanded. That side, it's got a little bit of wet sanding in that rear jam where he's doing that body work, and also just this seam sealer, and I think this sucker will be ready for the body paint. So things are moving right along. It really does suck that we weren't able to get this sucker out of limp mode. That way we could put the pedal to the metal and pop a wheelie, but you know what, we got to do what you got to do. You got to just keep on moving. We'll figure that situation out later. Let's maybe get this sucker in the paint booth. We'll see.
made it happen. We finally painted the G-Wagon, dude.
Wow, this sucker turned out absolutely amazing after a bunch of prep work, dude.
A bunch of prep work and also a bunch of roadblocks that we ran into, like this bodywork area right here, which this is some tough metal. We worked it for like a day and a half. We worked really late, but we got that knocked out. And a little few body areas just around the whole G-Wagon. We're just trying to make it perfect because we just needed the paint to go on there one time and be like that. And it turned out amazing. Got 2 coats of clear all the way around. It's crazy seeing it one color now, man. You know, all that body work, man, it's definitely paying off right now, dude. That looks insane. The roof is painted, the body is painted. Now all we got left is just a couple doors, some body panels, and this thing is just gonna be done.
Dude, it's gonna be literally just done. I mean, there's gonna be a good bit of prep work on those parts as well, though, right?
Yeah, there's gonna be a good bit of prep work, you know, some wet sanding. I don't think we have to paint all the doors depending on how well this color matches, you know, because usually, even if you get like the best paint, sometimes it doesn't match, but if it matches perfectly, I think we gotta like fix 1 or 2 doors and that's it, man.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be super easy. This side looks slick as well, dude. Overall, man, that turned out absolutely amazing. We did a seam sealer up front. We were able to find some.
Yep, got all seamed out. I mean, this thing's pretty much now, honestly, once it's dry, we can put together the entire interior with the windshield and just everything, sunroof, start piecing this thing together and painting it and finishing it up.
But guys, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. We're super happy with how this G-Wagon is moving right along. Not so happy with not being able to rip it, but you know what? We're gonna figure it out. We always do. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Drop all your comments and thoughts down below. We'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.